next topic of discussion on the Divinator Great Debate is you should test brand new OCG exclusive cards that you do not have access to yet. As soon as you get them, as soon as you know of them.
Mm-hmm. So I am for this. I am
on
point. I am point. I am under the assumption that you should do this, and it's a great thing.
What's up, guys?
Yeah. So I'm gonna put on my lithium shade. Yo, what's up, everybody?
Put in a solemn package and needle fiber.
Needle fiber, summon sorcerer.
Grinder golem.
So you can summon all the mana. Alright, I'm gonna do it now. Alright, so
where's
the reason
the
you want
stop
this. Alright, so the reason you want this is you familiarize yourself with the new cards and see for yourself if they're worth the hype. Also, it can help you develop strategies on not only what kind of cards to play to make it work, but also know how to counter it for when you go up against it into TCG. Also, most of the people you're going to be dueling at YGO Pro aren't going to be honor coding this, you know? The whole, it's not real, why should I play it now mindset. So if you actively choose to ignore OCG-only cards, you're actively handicapping yourself against randos, which can be a problem in playtesting.
All right, I'm going to call it there.
Opening statement.
Yeah, 30-second opening statement.
All right. Tell me when.
Go.
Oh, I am the counterpoint of this. Yes, playing a game or two with a brand new OCG exclusive card for a deck you like is perfectly fine. However, when it comes to testing, especially if you're a competitive player, I find it a waste of time because most of the time you're playing a fake format which will never exist because by the time you get those cards, the ban list will be different and the current deck you are testing is a complete a nonsensical build of the deck, and you're learning combos you may or may never actually have access to.
And there's time. All right, Marion, what is
all
your...
right, since I knew you would actually say that, because we've had this topic of debate all the time, I actually have a literal thing written for that. Let me know when to start.
You may start when ready.
All right. Now, while the format may not be the same and some cards might not be legal, when it comes into the TCG, if you have played them when they were released in the OCG, you can come up with alternatives, other playmaking cards that suit your strategy. Knowing how good they are can also help meta players decide if they should pick them up while they're cheap or save themselves money by passing them up. There really is no reason not to play OCG-only cards. The main reasons why I can see you not wanting is because you plan on playing the deck IRL.
You have 26 seconds.
Ryan is a goblin. Don't let him ignore. Don't let him hide it. All right, it's a truth. It's true. I have more, but I'm saving for the third point because I don't want to fill my load early.
All right,
that's fine.
You can
You can always pad for time with the Ryan as a goblin.
That seems to be a solid.
People need to know.
Seems to be a solid strategy there. All right, Dave.
It's working.
Go for it.
I think you did your best job to defend this. However, you may or may not have inadvertently made my second point. And that is if you are playing IRL, testing your OCG exclusive cards does you absolutely no good. Sure, if you're trying to learn the deck for the future and you're just curious to know what the deck will do down the road so that maybe you can perhaps, buy tech choices or whatever, that is perfectly fine. I understand that opinion. However, if you are playing IRL like any competitive player, you are going to find yourself learning the deck incorrectly, which isn't going to do you any good when you go to a tournament and you forget how to make your wombo combo summon sorceress without access to security dragon. Ah, darn. So it's bad practice. You can fool around with it, but any serious testing you need to be able to do with a deck in the version you are trying to actually play in real life.
All right. Varian.
So this is closing statement?
This is closing statement.
All right. So, as I said before, there really is no reason not to play OCG cards. The knowledge you get from playing OCG cards is something you really can't undermine because you got to be honest with yourselves. These cards will, whether how long it'll take, will eventually come into the TCG. So even if the format changes and even if the cards being played changes, you will still eventually have to learn how the new cards work anyway. if they're meta relevant, which most of them are. So taking the proactive approach can actually help you in the long run and save you a lot of time in testing. And that's my ending argument.
Ryan is a goblin.
Ryan is a goblin.
All right, Dave, closing statement.
Closing statement.
Go.
Testing these fantastical, nonsensical OCG cards that we may or may not actually get. Here I'm looking at you, Patchwork, which we didn't get for like 7 years after the fact. It's a lot of wishful thinking and learning your deck incorrectly. If you plan on playing online, it is perfectly fine and go for it. And yes, you probably do want to learn these cards at some point before they come out so that you are not behind the times when you are trying to deck build. However, if you are playing in real life, which is something that I do as a competitive player, I don't have the time or the willpower to learn an entirely different version of the deck when I'm struggling to know how my current version of my deck works, which is like always the battle. So in closing, don't waste your time. If you're going to test them, wait like a month before.
Oh, very nice. All right, so let's open this up to the 5 people that are now watching.
All 5 of you.
All 5 of you in the
chat.
What are your thoughts on kind of the lithium approach? The card was announced yesterday. Just came up on YGO Pro, so I'm going to build a deck right now. We're going to test it. We're going to show how broke this combo is. Is that how you want to play the new cards, or do you feel like you should wait until maybe a week to a month before the set releases in real life to actually start playing and learning the combos? Elon says he's going to have to go with Dave here. Personally, I would be so damn sad if I made a deck and it comes out, the deck is invalid, or it takes way too long to get here and it's just not possible to do. Again, that's the Patrick argument where Fluffle players really want this one card and they just can't play the deck at the full power, and then when Patrick finally does come out, they lose Brilliant Fusion.
Oh, yeah. To be fair, we did get Brilliant Fusion. We had it for a while.
We did.
It was like a format or so. But then right after, bam.
Bam.
Fwazir likes to keep it TCG. Thousand Eyes 85. Dave convinced me it's better to wait. So there's, I think we got some more for Dave here. People watching this after the fact too. We'll try to put a poll up in the top left corner there. So go ahead and click that to show.
Show Marion some love, because
yeah,
clearly lost. He's gonna need it.
Clearly,
they're all scrubs.
Max to me says play them beforehand.
They play Dark Guy OTK.
Rex scrubs when the cards come out. So Max thinks that learning the cards before they come out in the TCG is a good way of kind of familiarizing yourself with the effects and being able to be more comfortable with deck building in the current format. Yugimoto is mentioning Subterra Guru as another card that had come out quite a long ways after the original release in the OCG.
I think they made out like a bandit though. I think Guru Control is actually a real like rogue deck, so they can at least play it and do well at an event.
It's actually surprisingly good. I've lost a few games to it.
I mean, I witches striked that damn what's her face, the hand trap though.
Right.
Oh, the hand trap.
Tommy wasn't happy. He was like,
that's funny. Shandarko says that some cards you can safely say are coming here, so there's little reason to not test them, but stuff like Brains Pack and Shonen Jump cards are more questionable depending on if you're an IRL player. That's kind of the...
I think that's probably the happy medium opinion.
It is.
Like, if it's a main set card, you can be pretty sure you're going to get it when the main set comes out. So sure, fine. But if it's like a weird promo, yeah, you'll never see that fucking thing. Yeah. It's never coming out.
Oh, yeah.
Scott Harris says, don't see the hurt in trying them. I definitely say do it earlier than a month before, since knowing the cards can determine how, if you buy a set. So that's even deciding on whether you want to purchase the set or whatever, if you want to be familiar with the way the cards play.
Yeah, that's fair.
I would definitely say you want to familiarize yourself with the hot button tech cards.
Gotcha.
Like, losing to Witch's Strike feels bad, man. Like,
yeah.
And I can honestly say I didn't even know the card existed till I saw them in the display case and I read them. I was like, oh, that's a good trap card. Right. I should buy a playset.
Yeah. So in this sense, Dave is actually going against his own advice here. You really should be familiarizing yourself with the tech choices, because that card will not be banned. And if it's a standalone card, you should know how it works and be aware of what's going on. But when it comes to archetype-specific ones, the argument would be that it's better to hold off till closer to when the card coming out. Predator Magnus is asking, why is Dave so lame?
Why is Dave so lame?
That's a good
Probably
question.
because I'm an only child.
It's because he's 30. He knows it.
He's acting like a square.
What are these insults? Are we in 1974?
Apparently, or 1955 with Marty McFly.
Well, you know Predator doesn't have good internet, so that's the only cable he could get.
Yeah, wherever he's from, they must have bad internet. I'm not.
Zimbabwe.
Frozen Lava Reflector says
from
no.
He lives in Nilbog with Ryan.
There you go. Frozen Lava Reflector says that know what they do at least. Yeah, no, I'm gonna have to. I think the more people have sided with Dave, so Dave gets the win on this one.
What do they know?
But what do they know? With the caveat of maybe not play test the deck, but at least know what the cards do that are coming out. So
yeah,
be more aware than Davey Don't is.
Yeah. Read the organization when cards are released. Kind of be aware of what's coming out. Read the cards. Watch DP Yu-Gi-Oh! But you don't have to actually extensively play test the deck online.